5, date 16/01/2020.
Hello and welcome to Soundbite. I'm your host Millie Bacon. We have 2 guests for you this afternoon, as well as an exclusive interview with a very special guest. And we'll be finishing the show with a live musical performance. But first, I would like to introduce you to a band called The Shortcuts. Earlier this week, we spoke to the local up-and-coming band, and here's what they had to say.
My name's James.
I'm Shay. I'm Jim.
I'm Laura.
I'm Kai and I play guitar.
The name of the band is The Shortcuts. So we were out on a party and we got pretty pissed up, and we've been trying to look for a name for about a month. We didn't have a name because I was originally in a band with this guy and we were called Odium, but that never really happened because it was expensive and we were just dumb and we never actually practiced. But we were just sort of chilling in my bedroom. I think Kai was staying over at the time, and we were just sort of trying to think of names, and I said The Shortcuts, and I hated it at the time, and I hated it for a long time, but it just sort of stayed, and we kept the name, and everyone liked it, so yeah. So I'm the lead singer, Shay Mack plays drums, Laura's on rhythm, Kai on lead, and Jim on bass. Jim's been with us for a day, so...
They're all terrible human beings. I regret this completely. Please send help. We kind of try and push boundaries with our stuff, so... At the moment we have quite a lot of Britpop stuff out. We've also been working on psychedelic as well as a bit more punk. Go for it. Psychedelic Britpunk.
So at the moment we've got a gig at Anvil on 1st of February. We're a support act. We've got 30 minutes of music playing all of our main songs that we've fully written. So at the moment we're basically just practicing our set list 24/7, whenever we can. We're just going over the set list, no other songs. And we're going to be supporting this band called Break Time, and they're good. Yeah, big up them people. I want people to come to our gigs, listen to our music, and not just... I want people to have a good time, but I also want people to listen to the sort of lyrics and actually think about what they mean, actually enjoy the songs for what they are, listen to what the words are, because we put a lot of effort into it, and a lot of the songs mean a lot of stuff to me, 'cause it's a lot of personal stuff. So I think I just want to be the best we can be, really.
It's at The Shortcuts Band on Instagram. We're also going to have a YouTube up, get our music on Spotify, Bandcamp, hopefully start selling merch as well quite soon, which is going to be designed by all of us because we want to have our own little part in it. Facebook will be coming soon as well.
No problem, thank you very much.
What a fascinating story. Now I'm joined by another musician, Lee Rasdall-Dove. Hi Lee, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. So Lee, when did you start performing?
I started performing when I was about 16, down in local open mic nights throughout Christchurch and Bournemouth.
Mm-hmm. And what's your preference between writing and doing other people's covers?
So I enjoy doing covers. It's about making them your own and putting your own spin on it rather than just taking it straight out of what they've done and copying straight away. But yeah, I do covers for a living, so I play cover gigs like pubs, bars, weddings and things like that. And then I do my original music on the side, so support my music with other people's music, if you like.
And do you travel with your music?
So I travel around all around the UK. So I've done a tour a couple of years ago. I did 22 cities in 10 days, all the way up to Newcastle was the furthest I went. That was just around the student unions. So I'd go up and it was just me in my car, and I'd drive up, go play somewhere and show what I've got and show the music to people that were new people, and try and get some fans involved.
Yep. And is there any particular artists that you prefer to cover?
Yeah, so I prefer to cover more modern stuff than older things. basically that's a target audience, if you like, so people that I want to be listening to my music as well, because I feel like it works together with that. But I do a big mix of things. So if I do come across an audience who's a bit more mixed, I can go a bit further back and do some older stuff as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And where do you normally perform?
So I normally perform around Bournemouth mainly. That's where I'm from. So around here, Dorset, Southampton, Poole, Christchurch. I've done some bits in London as well. Just basically local pubs and bars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where would you prefer to perform usually?
I prefer to perform to a nice, like, intimate audience where people are listening, kind of like sofa sounds vibes, things like that.
Yeah.
Where people are actually there to listen. They're not just chatting in the background or anything like that.
Yeah.
And it kind of gives me the opportunity to play my stuff and hopefully get through to some people.
Yeah. And any advice that you would give to people that are thinking of pursuing a career like yours?
Yeah, sure. Just go for it. Take every opportunity you can. Get your name out there. So just play open mic nights. Go and even in new towns rather than just the same town. Buskin's another good one as well. Just play everywhere and take every opportunity you can.
Yeah. And a Spotify page, do you have a...
Yes, I do. I'm
following
off on
that?
Spotify. I've got an EP up there, so it's 4 tunes. Nice little mix of things, so a bit more rocky, a bit of reggae as well. The album's called Head in the Clouds, and my name's Lee Rasdall Dove. If you search that into there, you should come up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where can fans usually find you on social media?
So you can find me on Instagram, I'm on Facebook as well, and YouTube and everything like that.
Okay, great, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you for coming on the show today, Lee. We really appreciate it.
No worries.
Stay tuned because later on Lee will be giving us a live performance in the studio. But now it's time for the news and weather.
Hello, I'm George Gillings with the most up-to-date local news stories for you today. Latest figures from the shelter reports that there are at least 320,000 homeless people across the country, either sleeping rough or in temporary accommodation. Last month, the Echo reported that rough sleeping figures in Bournemouth had doubled since the previous year, although it is understood some of the current 58% who appear to be sleeping rough do have homes to return to. Poole Housing Partnership, the organisation that manages some of BCP's council public housing stock, has lodged proposals for the flats, which will provide temporary accommodation for homeless people until permanent housing can be found. Last week, Bournemouth University went into lockdown over a potential suicide vest incident. Officers were called after a man was spotted near Boundary Roundabout. Officers attended the scene and undertook an investigation including a review of CCTV footage. It was established that the man thought to be a threat was in fact in a fitness vest. The lockdown was then lifted as the police reported that they did not believe there was any further cause for concern or threat to the public. Bill's boss, Tony Brown, has recently told news outlets that he believes Bournemouth Council are not investing enough into the high street. Figures show that 2019 was the worst year for the high street retail in the last 25 years, as he believes the growing popularity of online shopping could be to blame. Bill's began trading in Bournemouth in 1881, and it is feared that the store could fall into administration, with another shop being swept away as the result of internet shopping. This isn't helping the survival of the high street, as well as decreasing local job opportunities. Anyway, that's all I have time for. We're now going to this week's weather forecast with Jaquez Larocque.
Thanks for that, George. As you can see here, the temperature is set to slowly improve as we get closer to the summer months. The temperature in and around the Bournemouth and Christchurch area is currently predicted to stay at a steady 10 degrees. Heavy rainfall is forecast for the coming week, so make sure you bring an umbrella to university. South Wales are facing colds with high of 9 degrees and low. The Cardiff area especially can expect to experience light showers with a fresh breeze. As for the rest of the south coast, areas such as Brighton and Portsmouth are facing cold temperatures with highs of only 8 degrees, alongside strong gusts of winds. So make sure that you're wrapping up wherever you are in the country. As Christmas is officially over, the countdown to summer can begin. Only 163 days to go. So not long until the sunny spells begin and you can enjoy days spent on our lovely sandy beach. Remember this, don't let the weather get you down. Stay motivated for your January exams. Now, back to Millie in the studio.
Thank you for that. Singer who talks about his past career and what he's got planned for the future.
How are you doing today, John?
Alright, how are you?
I'm good. So where did your passion for music begin?
So I originally started out as a mechanic in a little town in North Yorkshire called Settle. So I was working towards that, and then randomly this guy told me that he's like, oh, I build the body parts for Ferrari at Formula One. I was like, right, here we go, this is my thing. And it turned out he was lying, and being a young naive kid, it really upset me. And for some reason, that turning point, my brother is a musician, he was in Newcastle studying music. And he said, why don't you just give it, you're talented. I was making house music in my bedroom, I was playing guitar, I was doing all the little bits that weren't quite, it was all a bit discombobulated. And my brother said, why don't you go and put it all together and go to college and do music?
With that, how did you get from, small town all the way up to the big #1 hits?
The small town that I grew up in, I felt so confined, and I felt like I was bullied for being me. At 16 years old, during that moving process, as I just moved to Leeds, my mum rang me and said, bad news from the hometown, two of your best friends have died in a car accident, which is brutal, but what that did was changed everything. Music became a healing process. It became something that I fully absorbed in, instead of being like, oh, I just sing songs. It was like, it became something different.
How does one get into the industry?
So I was working in this pub in Crouch End and got introduced to this guy. It was my supervisor's sister, and she said, oh, my brother's a musician, made friends with him. And I said, I don't want to work behind a bar anymore, I'm done, I just want to do music. So I went on the dole in that house, living with his mum and dad, that he let me do because I had no money and I lived on the dole. We made 2 songs for Rudimental called Feel the Love and Not Giving In.
So how do you find the overall songwriting process?
Come and Get It did really well, but then the rest of the album was a little bit funky diverse for people. So then I went, oh God, I've lost my way. And that's where my head's at, I don't know what to make anymore. And then I went into this period of going, right, well, if I don't know what I'm doing, what's that person doing? And it's so stupid. I was listening to my first record, and every interview I was like, I want to sit on the edge of the village, but in my own house, musically. I was like, I want to be relatable, I want people to know who I am in the village, but I want to be on the edge of it. And I lost that a bit. I completely pissed off into the middle of the forest, instead of even sitting near the village, and I just disappeared, and the village weren't relatable to me anymore, in terms of audience. And this is such a stupid way of doing this. I was like, right, I'll go back to the village almost, if you know what I mean, but I'll stand right in the town centre, I'll do what everyone else is doing. And I did it so badly, I couldn't do it.
Thank you to Catherine and the team for that inspiring interview. Now we have an interview with Dominic O'Donnell, another student here at BU who creates original music videos in his spare time. So hi Dominic, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you, apart from the weather. So what interested you in creating music videos?
So I first started making videos when I got like a GoPro when I was like quite young, like 13 or something like that, and I just started filming things in general, like me and my friends doing stuff. But I always had an interest in rap music. It was always something that I really enjoyed, so I sort of put the two together, and music videos really suited that, and I enjoyed making them because you could do them with essentially no budget at all, and there was not really any rules. So then when I started working with them, and then eventually I started getting a little bit known for doing them, and people get a little like side hustle business out of it.
Yeah. And what is your favourite project so far that you've worked on?
Probably this video that I shot in London. So enjoyable.
Yeah.
any good part of the experience, yeah.
Yeah. Is there any particular genre that you're most interested in making music videos for?
So I listen to a lot of music, almost all music really, but mostly rap music is what I would be. In my spare time, it's what gives me the most energy. I guess I feel like I enjoy it the most. I've grown up around it and stuff, so yeah, that's definitely my favorite genre.
Yeah. And is there any goals and aspirations you have for the future with your work?
At some point, I'd like to. Moment. What I actually like is I would like to do editing, but whether it's necessarily music videos, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Lee, The Shortcuts, John Newman and Dominic, and thank you to all who watched today. And now singing us out is Lee Rasdall Dove.
I hit the road, nothing on my back and I don't look back no more, 'cause it's all the same, and I won't be fooled again, 'cause I'm wiser than I've ever been, and I'm taller from all this stumbling. Said I can fall harder, the proof is in the pain these days, yeah. And it's almost over before it begins. A flash of light is pulling me in. It's not often I feel no control. Said I'm hurting, said you got to know it's these wild emotions taking their toll, breaking in and taking it all away, yeah. And it's all the same, and I won't be fooled again, 'cause I'm wiser than I've ever been, and I'm taller from all this stumbling. Said I can fall harder, the proof is in the pain these days, yeah. And I'm wiser than I've ever been, and I'm taller from all this stumbling. Said I can fall harder, the is in the pain these days. Yeah.
Hey. Nice. Happy days.